Flosstube, welcome back. I'm Jenny. This is Stitching Jenny, Flosstube number 13. It is January 17th, 2024. It's been a long time. We've had Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year since last time I saw you. And I've gotten a lot of stitching done. I've had just a lot going on. So I haven't really been able to get back. We've had some family situations come up. My mom was in the hospital for a little bit after having surgery, and she fell and was in rehab. And so anyway, there was that. My daughter was home for Thanksgiving, and my niece came down and stayed with us for a little bit. So I didn't get as much stitching done then, or a chance to come back and do Flosstube. Plus then about like a week and a half later, 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, she was having her finals and had finished her finals. So then she was home, and anyway, just made it a lot harder to get back. So thanks for bearing with me and coming back to visit. So I thought I would do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to actually start with some of the stash acquisitions, things that I've purchased. So I did a lot of online purchases right after Thanksgiving. So for the Black Friday online sales, I got some patterns from Emily Call, who she's the sweetest person. I got to meet her while she was at Stitch West, and she's amazing, the kindest woman. But she also is a fantastic designer, and she has an Etsy shop. It's Emily Call, and she has some really cute pieces. I got Winter, Batty, Halloween, and Thankful for You. And here is a picture of what those look like. Here. Look like here. I also got from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Coulter and Clementine Fox, and also one of the pen pals. It's the Spring at Carrot Farm, and that's what these look like. Okay, and then Primrose Cottage also had a sale on their online PDFs, and so I got Snowman Kiss and Christmas Barn. That's what these are. And then found a new designer from while I was watching made by Michelle McGraw. That felt weird. I don't know why. Anyway, and her design name is New Creation Studio on Etsy, and she has a lot of really great nativities. It's really difficult to find good nativities, and so she had several that I liked, but by this point I'd spent a lot of money, and so I just got one. It's Joy to the World, and that's what this looks like. And I got a couple of other like little random things. I got like a gingerbread controller. I got like a biology thing for my daughter, and I, just a couple of little miscellaneous things. Something I want to, there's like a Mountains Are Calling and I Must Go one that I want to stitch and add to this wall behind me. We want to do a big collage of kind of our outdoor adventures on this wall behind me. So that will kind of be mixed in with it. So as far as the other things I have gotten for Christmas, I picked out basically my own Christmas presents from everyone. At least that was cross stitch related. I got these 3 needle minders from Mad for Minders. I got it on their Etsy shop while it was on sale for Black Friday. So that's what those look. This one is one that she had, and then it went out of stock, and I was so sad. I just love, it says mindset is everything, and it's goldfish with a shark fin, and it made me laugh. And I've just kind of always kept it because I've checked other shops, because sometimes, you know, different ones cross over. Like I think this one crosses over a few different shops, but she finally got it back in. And so I was like, okay, it's destiny. I have to buy it. So, and hedgehogs, we have a special place in our heart for hedgehogs because that was my dog's favorite toy, was a squeaky hedgehog. And so it's kind of in memory of him. So, anyway, these are great needle minders. I was a little bit disappointed at how long it took her to ship them. It took her like 2.5 weeks before she finally shipped them, where the other Etsy sellers that I've worked with, it's much faster turnaround. That might have been just because of Black Friday and the big sale, but I was a little bit surprised that it took so long. So just kind of keep that in mind, that it might be a longer turnaround if you order from her. So then that's what you're expecting, and not like if you're trying to get it in a certain amount of time. So, but she was great to work with. But then I got a couple of pieces that was from my husband, and also these couple of pieces of fabric. This one is 32 count double Lugana, and then this one is 32 count Picture This Plus Dwarf. So you can kind of see this one's much grayer. This one's like a cold blue. I think those are coming through pretty well. So that's what those look like. I think they're both 32 count. So I've thought about doing the 2 different, some of the retreat pieces that I got from Stitch West on these because they're kind of wintry. Haven't 100% decided I want to do a floss toss and see. This one group was from my parents. Again, I picked them all out. So first is the this one's Lucky Day, and it's the Mill Hill kit. Then I got When I Think of Spring by Putini, and it comes with the super cute clay buttons. So I've done When I Think of Summer, so I want to do the other 3. I need to purchase them outside of the season because they're hard to find when they're actually the season that you're wanting to stitch. Right now, like the winter is gone. I tried to get the fall, like in more fall time. So anyway, if you're interested in them, buy them out of season. So, and that's what all 4 look like right there. So super cute. I got more dwarf. That was kind of accidental, but I'll use it. It's one of my favorites. And then I got 32 count Picture This Plus Nessie. And then I got a big piece of Stormy Night Lugana. So that's kind of what those 3 look like. I love blues. Blues and grays are kind of what I tend to stitch on the most. So that was from my parents. Then from my sister, she gave me a gift card to 123 Stitch. which is always an excellent choice. And I've got just some flosses that I need, and I got some extra Cosmo white flosses. This one's what's equivalent to the B5200. I said it before, but I love the Cosmo white and black floss. If you have not tried it, it is definitely worth getting the Cosmo black and white floss. They lay so much nicer, they're fuller, fluffier, they feel really nice, and they're not that much more than a skein of DMC. These I think are like $1.20 maybe, so not too bad. And then I got some lilac Lugana because I wanted to try that for the spring. And then platinum, 32 count platinum. I think both of those are 32. And that's kind of, you can kind of see the contrast a little bit between the two. And let's throw that gray back up so you can kind of see. Platinum's kind of a grayer brown, which I have really liked the platinum. Platinum is what I plan to stitch when I think of pieces on it. It's kind of my new go-to for a neutral other than the grays. Like if gray is not gonna work super well, then I tend to go to platinum. I got Hello Spring from Madame Chantilly. Super cute one. I want to stitch it and put it on. I have a bigger board that I put. I have like a Christmas piece, a Halloween piece. It's kind of like a weathered wood board that I switch out, and then above it is like a little kind of like a little swag thing that I put on it. So this should fit it when it's done. So I think maybe platinum might be a good choice for this one too, with those brown and gray bunnies. I think it would be good. Okay, so I have to like give 123 Stitch props. They have amazing customer service. Amazing customer service. I mentioned that because of my dog, we love hedgehogs. So I decided I was going to buy a hedgehog stack from Plum Street. Pretty sure it's Plum Street. Not realizing until after I'd placed the order that last time I was at my LNS, I actually had bought it. So I emailed them and asked them if they could switch it for me. They were fantastic. They switched it out for me, and they switched it. This is from Cochette Agogo. I'm gonna have to look up how to say that. And this is Spring Basket. Super cute. I'm trying to make sure that there's not a glare on that for you. My mirror is super dirty, so hopefully that wasn't too glary. Anyway, so there are those. So those were from my sister. And then sadness, like January 1st, January 2nd, our local cross stitch shop, the Craft Center of Fine Stitchery, announced that they are going to be closing. And just the original owner, I think her name's Joyce, she passed away in the fall, and just the family has kind of come to the decision that, you know, the main woman who runs it is her daughter-in-law, and she has her son and grandkids that just moved back to Utah, and they have decided, you know, she wants to be a grandma, which I totally understand. She's worked there, she said, since she was like 14 years old, so a really long time. But anyway, so they're going to be closing, and it kind of depends on a few things of like who buys it, and if they buy it for retail or something else, how quickly they will close. But they're not really getting any new product, and so kind of what you get's what you get. So my sister and I wanted to do one last trip, and it kind of made me emotional doing that one last trip with her. But so I got some things while I was there. I got I wanted to do one last project from kind of kitted from there. So I got stitch bag from Shepherd's Bush. I'm sure you have seen these before. So, and it's part of the, they use the Mad for Plaid project bags. And so I got the green one. And then I've got, just dump it all out, the flosses, all except 2. And these are the flosses that go with that. So it'll look really pretty on those bags. So there's that. So that's kind of my last mostly fully kitted project from the craft center. They have these great bags of like leftover cuts, kind of like ornament cuts, I guess you'd call them. They're only $5 for a bag. This one has some like vintage country mocha. It's got an opalescent white and maybe platinum. This one looks like they're probably more like 40 count, 36 count. There was a white one, opalescent, in here as well, but I used it for a new start. I went around and looked at all the models on the wall to see if there were any that I absolutely loved that I haven't done before. And so I looked, and there's this beautiful heart one that I wanted, and they had the pattern. This is by Alessandra Adelaide, and it's called Flower Lace Heart, and that's what that one looks like. And I'll probably do it with the B50-200 version of Cosmo threads, and I want to do it on a really great red, not like an orangey red, but a deeper red, kind of like this is, like has more hint of like a black tone to it than like an orange tone, if that makes sense. So if you have a really great one that you love, let me know in the comments below. I would love to have some suggestions for that. Then I got the new, or not the new, I got Ripe Melon that goes with the new, it's the called for floss for the Valentine Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I have ordered it. It's on its way. And then I also ordered Winter Quaker from Primrose Cottage, which you'll probably see next time. And I picked out some blue that I thought might be a good blue for that. And then just like a brown floss. So that is a lot. I don't normally have that much. All of the sales, it just kind of worked out to be a lot. Plus, you know, gifts. I don't usually get that many gifts. So, next up, what have I finished? So I finished 2 Christmas gifts. The first one it's the one I did for my dad. It's a version of Star Wars. It's Star Wars characters Carol Singers by Geo Creations UK on Etsy. And that's what this one looks like. And then the other one, so that's what the pattern looks like. I have a video that I will actually be adding that shows you my finish, but the other one that I finished was for my sister, and it's Seashell Silhouette. It's designed by Diane Arthurs for Imaginating, and that's what that one looks like. I left off the blue and I cut it off right after this fan seashell, which you'll see. So I will go ahead and, now that I've shared that information, I will go ahead and add in those videos right here. Hello, future Flosstube. This is past Jenny here. I am here to show you a couple of gifts stitches that I have made. It is Friday the 22nd of December, and we have our family Christmas party tomorrow morning. So I need to get these wrapped tonight, but I wanted to show you really fast what I have been working on, because this is a lot of what I've been working on this month. So here we go. Okay, so first off, this is Star Character Caroling. It is from a Etsy seller. I will list them below, but it's got Darth Vader and our little stormtrooper. It actually has another stormtrooper and an android of some kind that is supposed to be on that right side, but I wanted to make it an ornament, so I chopped those off and I added these reindeer antlers to this stormtrooper. It was supposed to go on the other one, so then that way it could be more of an ornament size. This is stitched on 25 count Lugana that I dyed myself, and it is stitched 1/1, so super tiny. It was a lot of work. I didn't know that I would get it finished, so I have it this little trim, the sparkle red trim all around it. I also have it as the hanging piece, and then this is the back fabric, and that's going to be a gift for my dad. He is a big Star Wars fan. He was even watching Star Wars the day I was born, or the day after I was born. One of the new movies came out that day, so he had to go see it. So anyway, then we have this one is called Seashell Silhouette. And I don't remember who the designer is off the top of my head. I will post it down below. But this is for my sister. Her bathroom is done up in a beach theme. This is stitched on 32 count raw natural linen. So it's with a white Cosmo floss. I really like the white Cosmo floss. It is nice and fluffy, so it fills in really nicely. This one has glass on it. As you can kind of see that reflection. I don't normally do glass in my pieces that I frame because I like to see the stitches more, but this one is going in her bathroom, so I definitely did that. You can kind of see I was able to buy some spacers so that it's away from the fabric, so the glass isn't resting right on it. So it's just a frame that I found inexpensive on Amazon. The glass is actually like a plexiglass, but it works for what she will want, hopefully. So those are two of my biggest finishes this week. So I guess this month it's been a lot of work, a lot of trying to speedily stitch. I didn't think I would get that Star Wars one finished, but it's nice to know I did, and I had a couple of days actually to fully finish it. So it's turned out really well, and I'm excited to give these tomorrow. So back to you, future or present Flosstube Jenny. Yeah. Welcome back. So I have a couple of other fully finished objects. The first one, let's see, this one's called Hello Winter. I stitched this one 3 years ago. And it's by it's by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's on 36 count linen that I dyed myself with evening blue and pearl gray. I love this piece. It makes me so happy. It's super cute and tiny. So I had originally planned to make this into a pillow, but I had issues with my sewing machine like 3 years ago. It took me a while to buy a new one and then get used to it. Anyway, just it's been a while. So this time, as I was looking at it, thinking about finishing it, I just decided to do a little easel. There is like a hair cut in here. So the back of it looks like this. It's just white fabric. It's got little opaque painted snowflakes on it. I saw someone on Facebook, probably, if I had to guess, it was probably in the Stitching with the Housewives group, but instead of doing a full flat fold where this easel part is like the complete size front and back, she had taken just a smaller piece and had made an easel out of it. And so I thought I would try that. And I really love that. It's less material. It takes way less time. It's a little bit fussy when you're making sure it lines up just right to hold it. But it's fantastic. I love it. I definitely am going to do that. I did my other finishes like this as well. I learned that I definitely prefer a ribbon to connect the bottom part. It bends a little easier that way versus the one that I did the fabric. But really loved how that one turned out. So that will go with all of my cute winter stuff. Then I finished Be My Valentine by Stitching with the Housewives. I finished this one last year. And let's see, it is on 32 count charcoal linen and using called for flosses, except the white I just used, what is it, 3865 DMC instead of the bamboo. So that's what that one looks like. And then here's the back. So I also forgot to mention, this is just like a yarn that's kind of similar to like a chenille that I put around the edge. So that's what this is. A lot more inexpensive if you think it's a color that you might use a lot. But this one, I used all the call for colors. Like I said, this again is a yarn that I got from the craft store and put around the whole edge. And this is the one that I used the fabric to do. It's harder. It doesn't sit as easily. Like I had to kind of mess with it, and it doesn't fold up as easily after. I don't know if that's because of the glue, if it's the fabric's a little bit stiffer because it's got the glittery. I don't know if you can see that. But so it has a kind of a weird texture to it. It's not like a typical fabric. So I don't know if maybe if it were a sewn piece, if it would do better. But I just liked how the ribbon laid. So anyway, I have a lot of finished or of stitched smalls for Valentine's Day. I think I counted and there's 8 that I have finished waiting to be fully finished. So that's kind of my goal is the next couple of weeks to finish some of those for Valentine's Day. So that's what I did on Martin Luther King Day, was finish these 3. Then this one's finished for now. So I'll explain kind of what I mean by that. Here's that one. Kind of a side-ish to back view. So this one is Love You from, it's a freebie from Hands On Design. I stitched this on 32 count linen that I hand dyed myself. I don't remember exactly what color it was. And then I stitched it with white and then the dark gray. I finished the back with this gray pattern. I used a gray ribbon, like a satin ribbon for the bottom. You can kind of see it there. Yeah. This one, I want to put maybe some ruche ribbon around the edge, but I don't have the right color of gray. My gray is too light. You can kind of see this is the shade of gray that I have, and it's just too light. It looks weird. So I need to find like a grayish black, kind of like a charcoal color like this, to do it. But I think that will look awesome when it's done. But it's done for now. It's close. It's done for now. I'm calling it done for now. So those are my fully finishes. I did have another finish. This one is by Barefoot Needleart. This one's called Joy, and it's an ornament. This I started as a memorial piece for our trip to Hawaii that we had this last summer, and I wanted to start it the same year that we visited, even if it's not fully finished. That's what I wanted. So this is how it turned out. So I used the called for colors. I should probably, let me tighten this. There, now it's pretty and not all saggy and baggy. Let's try that one again. Get a little nicer. See? So much prettier. Okay, so this one, it's supposed to have beads for the sand dollar shape on it, but I didn't want to buy beads, and so they did have somewhere in the pattern a recommended floss color for it, a DMC floss color, and that's just what I used. I used the call for reds and greens. Then I did use, it's not fuzzy stuff, it's the other one. What is it? Whisper. I knew it was on there. I used Whisper for the hat of my turtle. So that will go on our tree for this year. My couch is getting very full, guys. Let's stick that over there. Okay, so that's my only like finish that's not fully finished. So new starts. Okay, I had 2 new starts. The first one was my New Year New Start. And this one I only worked on New Year's Day. I had some other things that I've been trying to work on, so it got put away pretty quick. But this one's called Winter Wonderland by Heinziet. That's what it looks like. Now, my LNS has a conversion that they did for it, and essentially these boxes behind the trees are not filled in, along with the sky behind the barn. I'm trying to get that so that it doesn't reflect. Sorry, I was not thinking about my bags. So that's what it looks like. My LNS stitched it on a navy. They did Ada. I'm doing a 28 count Lugana. And it's gonna look so pretty. I love it. This is half the W. So it's I mean, it's a big part of the pattern, that giant W. Anyway, that's the start of that one. So I will be working on, I have so many, guys, I think I kind of have startitis. I want to start all the things. I have so many winter pieces, so many spring pieces, so many Christmas pieces that I just haven't started yet. So anyway, I think maybe I just need to start them all. The next one that I have was a new start for yesterday. Now, yesterday apparently was Appreciate a Dragon Day. Take it in. Appreciate a Dragon Day. And Brittany from Ingleside Imaginarium, she's a designer. She is famous for doing mythical creatures, especially dragons. And it was her birthday yesterday. And so she started the Appreciate a Dragon Sal. And my youngest loves dragons. Probably started with Wings of Fire's novels and has just loved them. So I knew I had to do a dragon piece. There are several cross-stitch patterns for ornaments in the Just Cross-Stitch Ornament magazines, the old issues that were different dragons. It was by a company called Dragon Dreams. They have several in the past issues. So I have the CD that has up to a certain point. So it's the oldest ones. So I have that. So I went through it, found some of the dragon ones. I had them printed off. I asked my daughter, which is your favorite of them all? And this is the one she picked. And I have the picture here. And it's not a great picture because it was hard to find something online. And without like showing the pattern essentially. But this is my start from yesterday. I got a really great start. Okay, so this is an opalescent. Let's see if we can get, yeah, I think you can kind of see some of the shimmer on that. This was part of those grab bags. My estimate based on measuring an inch and counting the holes is this is a 30 count. I prefer stitching on 32 count or 40 count. I like the way the stitches look nice and full, but not too full. Those are my sweet spots. So this is the dragon's back, the scales. And then this is his main body. This is the start of his wing right here. And then this is his tail, start of his tail. And the ornament that he's sleeping on goes right here. This one, I don't think I told you, it's called Not a Creature with Stirring, and it's by that Dream Inc. And I think it's from the 2001 issue. And what else? I'm using mostly the called for on this. It has a gold top on the ornament, and with it being blue and white with little bits of red, I thought silver might look better. And I was out of one of the reds, so I subbed it for the next shade, which will be fine. It's part of the ribbon, and like it's dark enough to be the shading, so it won't matter. So those are the only subs that I'm making on that one. So that's my new start. This needle minder is from Gina's Unique Boutique. She has fabulous customer service. She's on Etsy, and this was actually a free needle minder, and it happens to go perfectly with my dragon theme. Okay, so those are my new starts. Next we have our whips. Whips go back a while, guys. This one goes back to before Thanksgiving. Okay, So it hasn't changed much since the last time you saw it. I have Mr. Pilgrim. This is a pair of Pilgrims by Lizzie Kate. It's an oldie but a goodie. And she names them Miles and Priscilla. So Miles is done. I did do some color conversions on him. It's on my Instagram if you want. I think I also included it in my last video. Essentially, this lightest color is what the darkest color was, and then I changed the color. Yeah, it's not on this one. I have it on my working copy. Anyway, it's I want to say Blackbird by Classic Colorworks is what the darker color is. So anyway, but Priscilla, she is who I was working on. So last time you saw her was pretty much this, except I filled in a little more of the collar, the white part of the collar, and the sleeve, the white of the cuff, have you, of the sleeve. I had hoped to get her mostly done, but like I said, with my daughter and my niece over, like, we were busy enjoying one another's company, playing games, like all the fun things, just chatting. So Black Friday shopping, you know, all the things. So that didn't really happen. So hopefully my goal is to finish her by Thanksgiving this year. That's my goal. So that's that. I have been subbing a couple of days this month. Sickness is going around rampant at our elementary school. People have been out for weeks. It kind of started before Christmas, and since everybody's gotten back, it's just horrendous. So I've been subbing, and if I sub Tuesday through Friday, the kids are in specialties for half an hour, and then they had inside recess, so I had to be in the classroom with the kids because it was so bitter cold and snowy. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say bitter cold. If it feels like it's 20 degrees or less, it has to be 20 degrees or higher for them to go outside. So I say bitter cold, but it's not the negatives that you guys are experiencing. But anyway, so I had some time while I was subbing to stitch on a travel project that I don't normally get to stitch on. But this is called Winter Expanse, I think. That's what the website that I ordered it from. I ordered it from mybobbin.com. And this is by MP Studia. And this is what they look like. It's a full kit. Comes with all of the flosses and the plastic canvas. And technically, they're supposed to go on the backs of each other. I am not planning on doing that because I think they're too pretty. So they'll each be their own individual ornament. And the one I'm working on is this one right here. And the section I worked on is the sky. I started this in the airport when we went to Hawaii. But essentially what I did was from here over. Yeah, you can even see my thread. So not a ton. But by the time, you know, I didn't get the full half hour while they were in specialties. I had to check on a few different things, make sure that I knew what was going on. And then, you know, inside recess, I'm trying to monitor 30, I think there was 32 kids. So, yeah, trying to monitor that, make sure that everybody stays alive. It's an adventure, let me tell you. Then, okay. So if you follow or watch Julie, she's Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. She started a few years ago a snow day stitch. Now, the idea is that you stitch on the same snow project whenever it snows. I probably owe this piece another 3 days because we had snow day after snow day after snow day. I have some other things I need to do. I can't just dedicate like 2 weeks solid to this piece, but it's mine is Dimensions, A Kiss for Snowman. So cute. This is my oldest WIP. The oldest. It was the second project I tried to start, not realizing that there's different levels. Right, people? There are different ability levels. So there's some things that I struggle about it. So let me show you. This is where I'm at. It's finally starting to come in. So what I did was I worked on this, the super dark red. I filled in some of this part right here, all of this gray, and all of this gray. So I got some good progress. So here's the thing about this piece. One, I don't like stitching on this Aida. It is so difficult to pull the threads through and the needle through, and my hand starts to hurt after a while. So I can't do it very long before like my fingers and my hands start to hurt. Second thing, remember how I was a new stitcher? Well, I didn't know that half stitches should go the same direction as your top leg. Okay, so I did my half stitches the same half as what I do my first leg, not my top leg. And so it was kind of bugging me, but I was trying to keep going, and I can tell partway through this, I was like, okay, it's driving me crazy. I am just gonna stitch it in the right direction. And so I changed it partway through this section. And so luckily I don't have a ton of half stitches other than in the snowman's face. Most of the half stitches are the background. The entire background is half stitches. All of this is back stitch, or half stitch, not back stitch, half stitch. So those are my gripes about it, but I love it. I think it's super cute. I have a Santa one. I think he's like hushing, like telling them to be quiet. It's beautiful. I haven't started him yet, but I feel like I have to finish this one first. But when I do that one, I'm going to put it on Lugana, like a white Lugana, because I'll be happier. Or find a nice white-ish piece of Aida. It's not that I mind the Aida, it's the crunchy Aida. It's too hard. It hurts. So that is that piece. Okay, my next piece, guys, I touched a lot of things. I didn't make tons of progress, but I touched a lot of things. This one is called, that one was on 18 count Aida, by the way. This one is Peace on Earth, All is Calm. So this one's by Petal Pusher. There are two versions of this. One is on blue with like brighter colors, and then she did like a more subtle color scheme on like a, so it's almost like a cream on white kind of feel to it. And that's what this piece looks like here. Anyway, I got the idea to put it on, this one is 32 count weeks garnet linen. Sorry. That's what it looks like. Now, I love the color. That's not the problem. The hard thing about weeks is it's kind of a looser linen, so it shifts a little bit, and this has metallics in it. So I started with one, didn't like it, pulled it out, tried a different metallic, didn't like it, pulled it out. Finally went and got some Petite Treasure Braid gold, and it's laying better. The others, it just pulled it weird, and so it didn't look nice. These look nicer. I don't know that they look amazing, but they definitely look nicer. Like I'm content. Let's put it that way. I'm content with the way that they look. So I've been kind of waiting on those. So I only have, it's like one of these flowers and a bird that goes like over here. That's the biggest part. And then it's just filling in little bits of like these little gold flowers and then filling in the centers of them. So really actually pretty close to a finish if I just would sit down and work on it. There is something off somewhere because this one I had to kind of shift it so that it wouldn't run into this. My E I think is off, but I'm not ripping it out. I'm not ripping it out. Let's just say it, people. I'm a make it do kind of person unless it's really gonna mess it up. This has enough space that I think I can just fake it. Because yeah, that's a lot of work. I'm not a perfectionist. Like I don't need it to be exact. Like if I didn't notice at this point that it was off, you're not going to notice once it's done. Only I know that, and I'm okay with that. So that is that one. I love this needle minder. It says hot cocoa and Christmas movies. Like literally one of my very most favorite things. I will get some hot cocoa and a stroopwafel and watch Christmas movies. It's my favorite. I love it. Oh, love it. Okay. This piece, it's hard. Not because of the stitching. It's hard because of the fabric I picked. This one is, ooh, I only wrote Dumbledore. It's something to the effect of Dumbledore's light. Something along those lines. I think I've got it here. One sec. Dumbledore, turn on the lights. That's what it's called. This is a piece. Actually, this is what it looks like. Okay, it is by an Etsy seller. The pattern says Pop Goes the Needle. I'm not sure if that's still their name. It's on Picture This Plus Mystic, and it's a 36 count. So I'll tell you all my things. So this is where I'm at. This is a gift for one of my friends at work. She loves Harry Potter, and we worked together. She was the teacher, and I was like the aide that helped her. So we spent like an entire year together and could basically almost like read each other's minds by then. It was an amazing year. So all I have left is the wand and then like a French knot on the eyes. What makes this piece hard is 136 is not my favorite. I think I'm stitching this one thread. Nope, two threads. Two threads on 36 count. The thing that I don't like about 36 count is I feel like one thread is too little, but two threads is too thick and it looks messy. So there's that aspect of it. The other aspect of it, it's really dark. And so it's harder to see. I have to have like the exact kind of lighting. I have like a side lamp, but I also have really good upper lights. But if my husband turns off the front light, it's much harder because I stitch in like our family room with the TV and stuff, and he plays games on the TV, and so he wants it down a little bit. Anyway, it is what it is. But because of that, I get headaches really easily. and all the focus on it has made it really slow going, because I notice after an hour, hour and a half, I start to feel pressure, and where I get migraines so easily, I'm just like, okay, we're done. So anyway, that's part of why it's so slow. And this is my cute frosted pumpkins Stitchery needle minder. That one's probably my favorite. They're making a little potion with the cute little froggy. You can get that one when they do their needle minder sale usually in November. It's about the only time you can find him. And he goes fast. It took me like 2 years to finally get him. He goes fast, guys. He goes fast. Okay, my last one. Yep, this is the last one. Okay, this one is Snowplace Like Home by Primrose Cottage. It's super cute. This one I am stitching on 32 count. Sorry, I still have some thread on the needle and I'm trying to put it in a place that it's not going to obscure it. 32 count vintage Stormy Night. This one goes fast once I like get to it. So I added in Snowplace, this guy, and part of the house. I use this for 2 of my snow days because I was kind of done with my snowman. A kiss for snowman. So that's what the last one is. This needle minder I got from Abby from Top Knot. This was one of my Stitch West starts, and so I bought my little needle minder at Abby Top Knot Stitcher. She was there, and so I bought my hedgehog. And again, hedgehog. See, I told you, love hedgehogs. Okay, so last of all is plans. So let's talk Whip Go for a minute. So I did okay the first part of the year with Whip Go. This is kind of what my final one looked like. One of those, like the B rules, that one's probably finished. But, I mean, I did okay. I think I got 14 fully completed, and this 15th one, I only had 1 day left that I had to stitch. I just didn't get back to it because, again, it was on darker fabric, and so I finally found my light and just had never gotten back to it. Anyway, it was kind of just, it felt like a lot last year. And so this year, I kind of revamped it. I have 3 squares or 3 boxes for 3 days, but I'm planning on 2 to 3 days depending on what month it's called. So like May tends to be a really busy month with all of the end of school activities. December is a busy month. Insane. You know, just there are a couple of times a year that it's really hard to get the 3 days in. So I've decided it'll be 2 to 3. My goal is 3 unless it's one of those busy months, and then 2. So far, and I have a lot more whips this year. I didn't put on the ones that were either newest or that I felt like I could finish quickly. Like those I didn't put on. So if I'd put all of my whips on, it would have filled the whole thing. But I did put on a couple of options, like this month's calls were 22 and 9, and both of these were general. One was, or 9 is any winter piece, and then 22 is a Sal. So I have the Castle Homecoming Sal, which I'm so far behind on. They came out with the next to the last piece this last week, and it's turning out so cute, but I am missing 2, 3. I'm 3 behind now, so I need to catch up on those. So that will be great. I can spend some time doing that. The any winter piece, I picked the Snowman Kiss, which also ended up being, I didn't think we'd have any snow. All of December, we did not get a single bit of snow. Like, not any. And then my daughter keeps joking that winter's New Year's resolution was to snow more. And it has. We've had snow almost every day in January. It's been kind of crazy. So anyway, that's my goal for Whip Go. I have a couple of things like my daughters get a pick, and then just different, like closest to a finish, my oldest whip. So technically, if you take into account, that means Snowman Kiss could technically be called at least 3 times because it's on here. It's my oldest whip. I used it as my winter piece. So anyway, trying to get some use on that. So that's Whip Go. Another goal that I have is I want to stitch 1 Christmas ornament every month. We'll see how that works. That's part of why I started the dragon, is so that I have that. I have an ornament that I want to do for my sister-in-law with some floss that she gave me after her grandma passed away. And so I want to use some of that to give her an ornament. I think that would be really special. I have a gingerbread tree that I want to do. So I want to stitch some gingerbread ornaments. Gingerbread kind of holds a special place in my heart because that was one of my first dates with my husband, was building a gingerbread house. And then I loved the gingerbread story, the little gingerbread man story when I was growing up. I hate the taste of gingerbread, but I love like the whimsical feel of the gingerbread cookies and the gingerbread houses and things like that. So I want to do a gingerbread tree, and that'll go in my kitchen. So that's another goal that I have. And then my last kind of goal plan for the year is I want to plan more or keep track. I want some stats, people. I want more stats. So I keep track of when I start things, when I finish them, what I stitch it on, but I don't keep track of how many starts I have, how many days that I've stitched, how many finishes I had for the year. And I really want to keep track of that. So I've kind of color coordinated it all. I have, so at the end, I'll have how many new starts in the month, how many finishes in the month, FFOs, how many days I stitched, what the Whip Go numbers were, and if I met the goal for those Whip Go numbers. And so far, I'm doing pretty good on keeping track of things. So anyway, so that's my goal for that. And then in the back, I put the list of whips that I had at the end of 2023. So then I could see, like, am I making progress on some of these older whips? And then I also added my Whip Go numbers in the back so that if I am not close to my notebook, I keep this on the side on my stitchy table. I can just quickly look and be like, oh, it's this one and this one. So, and then I'll put like a little X next to it when I complete that one. So anyway, that's my plans. That's all of the stitchy, all of the things, people. It's been a long time. I'm really hoping that it's not going to take this long. Last week was when I had planned to do it. My husband had all these work meetings late at night, and then he didn't end up going because of all the snow. So it just kept getting pushed back, and I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't happening. So today was the day. So thank you for joining me. Thank you if you made it this far. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.